Hello all. Before we begin the video, let's discuss CloudFoundation. CloudFoundation is the premier online training platform to help individuals and organizations gain knowledge and skills in the ever-growing cloud computing industry.
This may differs, it depends on the number of identity objects. So once again, I'm saying we can pick any one of these category, depends on the number of identity objects. Let's say your company has less than 5,000 identity objects. In that scenario, we can choose this micro footprint.
I mean, will they mention the deployment document about the this many objects need to, or like which footprint we want to go, or
exactly, yeah. So in the documents it will be mentioned, but we can pick any one of this footprint category. Okay. So before choosing this footprint category, we have to decide, we have to plan on a certain scale. These many objects we are going to maintain. These many applications we are going to onboard, these many policies we are going to implement, not exactly, but approximately we have to decide. So based on that, we can choose the footprint, and each and every footprint will have specific hardware requirement. Are we clear?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So less than 5,000 identity objects means, let's say we have some 200 to 300 employees, we have some of like 10 to 15 applications, we have implemented 50 policies, and we are planning to review the user access on a quarterly basis. So we may execute 5 to 10 certifications. So those 200, 300 users may submit access requests. Okay, let's consider two access requests they are going to submit. So when it comes to 200 means 400 access requests will get submit, 100 approval item will get generate. So you have to plan on a large scale. It depends on your project and client. If it is less than 5,000 identity objects, then 4 GB RAM is enough as per the document. So you require 40 GB space. Yeah, I mean, you require only one host or one server is enough. Okay, so now we have one server, 4 GB RAM is enough, 40 GB space is enough, that's fine. But when it comes to server should have some operating system, right? What about the operating system? It could be Windows, or it could be Linux. Okay. So this server has Windows operating system. Let's take an example. So this machine has 4 GB RAM, 40 GB space. So we can implement Sailpoint very easily. So now the real picture is, we are going to install Java on this server. We are going to install this application server called Apache Tomcat in this server. So this Microsoft SQL server, again in the same server. And we are going to deploy our application also, which means all four together, we are going to install everything on the same single server. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so RAM space, it's enough. What about the processor? So dual core processor, at least you can expect. As per the document, guys, because nowadays we are having more than this. If you are planning to purchase any system or server, whatever it may be, we will get more than this. So when it comes to small footprint, if you're planning to maintain 5,000 to 10,000 object. So in this scenario, you may require 8 GB RAM. So you require 200 GB space, something like that. So again, dual core processor. So if you require the updated document, you can get in touch with the technical team, Sailpoint technical team. They will provide this hardware topology. So based on that, you can decide. Okay. So here you may increase the number of servers, like 2 to 3. Okay. So now when you have 2 to 3 server, let's take an example, 2 server you have. So how you are going to decide, how you are going to implement this? All 4 items, all 4 components. If it is one, we can implement everything on the same, right? We can install everything on the same server. Now you have 2 or 3 server, then how you are going to choose?
I would suggest we can deploy all the 4 in 2 servers so that we can have higher availability.
Okay. That's right. So always remember, guys, when you are going to increase the number of server, you should assign one individual server for DB activity. Okay. So out of 3 server, what can we do? We can exclude one server and we can assign that particular server only for DB server. Okay. So that we can manage our database efficiently. So second, when we have remaining 2 server, right? So we can implement Java application server and Sailpoint software binaries into that.
Are these small footprints still companies uses or what?
So most of
Like
the small enterprises, they may use. So this micro footprint, which will be useful for us, like it's a non-production environment, right? So ours is non-production environment. So we can choose this footprint, micro footprint. So you require 4 GB RAM, 40 GB space. So our laptop will have this specific requirement, hardware requirement. So we can choose this micro footprint. But when it comes to like small enterprise where only 100 employees are working and we have to manage their data, in that scenario, we can pick this small footprint. But when it comes to when it comes to corporate, larger environment, definitely they have to choose either large footprint, or 5th category. Okay. All right. Okay, when it comes to medium footprint, so 10,000 to 50,000 identity object. So again, you may have 8 or 16 GB RAM. When it comes to real-time project, at least you will have 16 GB RAM, guys. So 500 GB space. Okay, when we are going to talk about space, so we are going to install these 3 component, right? Except database server. So in that server, 2 GB space is enough. But when it comes to database server, you always plan for larger space, like 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte, something like that. Okay. So again, 200 GB for normal server. And 1 terabyte space for, maybe you can, I would say 500 GB DB server. So you require dual core or 4-core processor. And here we can increase 3 to 5 servers, something like that. Okay, the moment you are going to increase the number of server, some server will work as a load balancer, some server will work as a UI server, okay, user interface server. Some server will work as a task server, batch server. I hope you guys have an idea about this. What is UI, task server and all? If no, we can talk about that. Can we?
What is that?
What is UA server, task server, batch server, load balancer?
No, load balancer. But about you as server.
What is a task server and UI server?
Okay, so on a high level, we'll talk about that. I'll make a note, okay? Let me complete this after the build up. UI server, task server,
And the load balance. Yeah.
batch server, and load balancer. Because here we are going to mention like 3 to 5 server, 2 to 3 server, 7 to 8 server, or maybe more than 20 server. It depends on the number of identity objects that what we are going to manage. That's fine. But out of those server, we have to decide, we have to segregate. Okay, out of 20, 4 server or 5 server will act as a task server. Remaining 5 server will act as a UA server. Couple of server will work as a load balancer server.
And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.